Hello, sixth grade math students, and welcome to your asynchronous call for today. Um, your teachers, including myself, are out preparing campus for the safe return for those of us that are going back to in-person instruction. So I thank you for tuning into this video and holding yourselves responsible and accountable. There are going to be some things that you need in order to be absolutely successful in class today. Those three things are a pencil, a notebook, and a positive mindset. Okay? I'll give you a second to get those materials prepared. All right. So today we're going to be talking or introducing equivalent fractions into our math class. Some of you know about equivalent fractions, some of you don't. But regardless, I need both sets of students' help in order to convince my buddy here in the middle of my screen that fractions and equivalent fractions actually aren't that bad. So we're going to start by talking to him about what we do know about fractions. Fractions are formed by two numbers, a number on the top over the number on the bottom. We call those the numerator and the denominator. Here's an example, 3/4. 3 is the numerator, 4 is the denominator. We know that proper fractions like this one represent numbers that are less than 1, right? Think about our cookie example from class. If I took a cookie and I broke it, that's no longer a whole cookie. That's half of a cookie or 1/4 of a cookie. So now, what are equivalent fractions? Well, they're just fractions that have the same value, they just look a bit different. Let's look at this first example. So example number 1 is we see this pizza and we would call this 1 out of 2 slices remaining, or 1/2 of the pizza is remaining. Well, that's equivalent to 2 out of 4 pieces remaining, or 2/4 of the pizza remaining. One half and 2/4 are both half of the pizza, and they are equivalent. We could continue to slice the pizza into more pieces, and let's say 8. So here we have 4 out of 8 pieces remaining, or we have 4/8 remaining, which equals to 1/2 of the pizza remaining. 4/8 is another fraction that represents half of a pizza. If you look closely, 4 is half of 8, and so is 1. 1 is half of 2. So a good way to recognize when something is equivalent to 1/2 is ask yourself, is this number half, or is the numerator half of the denominator? Fraction smaction. I'm hungry. If you're just like him and I'm losing you, hang on. So there are two methods that we need, or that we use, to create equivalent fractions. The first strategy that we're going to use is with multiplication. The second is with our favorite, division. All right, if you're like my buddy here, and you knew that this party was coming to an end sooner or later because we mentioned fractions, I promise you, just hang in there. This won't be all that bad. Creating equivalent fractions with multiplication follows one key rule, and that is multiplying a fraction's numerator and denominator by the same whole number helps us to create an equivalent fraction. Take this example of 3/4. To create an equivalent fraction that is equivalent to 3/4, we just have to multiply the top and the bottom by 5, and that'll give us an equivalent fraction of 15 over 20. Notice how we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5. That's the same number. We could actually continue and create several equivalent fractions using multiplication. Check the number 1/3 out. If we multiply the top and the bottom by 2, we'll get an equivalent fraction of 2/6. If we multiply those numerators and denominators by 2, we'll get an equivalent fraction of 4/12. If we keep going again, we'll get an equivalent fraction of 8/24. Notice here though, kiddos, we could actually continue to multiply a number of times. Each fraction, if we multiplied it by 2 on the top and the bottom, we would create a bunch of different equivalent fractions to 1/3. So if you're in your head and you're saying, like, so if we multiply the numerator and the denominator of a fraction by the same number, we'll get an equivalent fraction? Well, my answer to you is yes. That's all there is to it. There is nothing going on, I promise you. There's math and fractions aren't that complicated if you just remember that one key rule. So I want you to practice here, okay? I want you to work through questions 1 through 7. And then, so I want you to pause the video when you work through questions 1 through 7. And then when we come back together, when you unpause, we will review the answers. Great, we're back together. So it says, fill in each blank to create equivalent fractions by multiplying. The first question says 1/4 is equivalent to 2 blank. Well, 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. Why? Because we'd multiply the top and the bottom by 2. For number 2, you should have gotten 6. For number 3, 28. For number 4, 5. For number 5, 66. And for number 6, 42. The last and final question says, make 4 equivalent fractions starting with 2/3, multiplying by 3 each time. Well, this is what you should have gotten. The next strategy that we're going to talk about is creating equivalent fractions using division. Well, when we're creating equivalent fractions with division, there's one rule again. Divide a fraction's numerator and denominator by the same whole number. That'll help us create equivalent fractions. Take 6/9 as an example. If we divide the top and the bottom by 3, which is a factor of both 6 and 9, we'll get 2/3. We can create several equivalent fractions using division, just like we did with multiplication. So take the example 16 over 40. Well, 16 and 40 are both even numbers. So when a number is even, I know using my divisibility rules that I can always divide by 2. Good job. So if I divide 16 and 40 by 2 on the top and bottom, I get a new or equivalent fraction of 8/20. If I divide that by 2, I can get an equivalent fraction of 4/10. If I divide that by 2, I can get a final equivalent fraction of 2/5. The reason why I'm saying final is because we can continue to divide each fraction as long as the numerator and the denominator are both divisible by the same whole number. If we look at 2/5, 2 and 5 are both not divisible by 2. We could divide 2 by 2, but we couldn't divide 5 by 2. We call this reducing or simplifying fractions whenever we are finding equivalent fractions using division. Now let's practice. For a second time, I want you to, in just a moment, to pause the video and work through questions 1 through 7. When you unpause, we're going to review and see what you got. Pause now. All right, welcome back. So, number 1 says 3/9 is equivalent to 1 line blank. But what you should have asked yourself was, how do I go from 3 to 1? If I'm using division to find equivalent fractions, 3 divided by 3 is going to give you 1, and 3 divided by 9 is going to give you 3. Well, for number 2, 4/10 is equivalent to 5 blank something. Well, what you should have been asking yourself was, how do you go from 10 to 5 using division to find equivalent fractions? Well, 10 divided by 2 gives you 5. Good. 4 divided by 2 is 2. For number 3, you should have gotten 5. For number 7, 1. For number 5, 4. For number 6, 8. The last and final question, you should have gotten a final answer of 3/5. You can't divide 3/5 any further because 3 and 5 do not share a common factor. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Now it's your turn again to decide if the following fractions are equivalent by stating yes or no. What I want you to do is pause the video in just a moment, work through questions 1 through 6, see what you get. We'll review when you come back. Pause now. Great, let's see what you got. For number 1, you should have gotten no. They are not equivalent because if I divide 3 by 3, I'll get 1. But if I divide 12 by 3, I'll get 4. Good job. For number 2, you should have gotten yes, they are equivalent because if I multiply 4 times 2, I'll get 8, and 5 times 2 is 10. For number 3, you should have gotten yes again. For number 4, you should have gotten no, they're not equivalent because 12, how do I go from 12 to 3? Well, I'm dividing because I'm getting smaller. I know that. So from 12 to 3, how do I get there? Well, I divide by 4. But when I divide 21 by 4, I don't get 7. For 5, you should have gotten yes. For 6, you should have gotten yes as well. So, let me know. How do you feel about equivalent fractions now? You should feel like Sparky, and you should feel like an equivalent fraction beast. You are a winner. You can do it. It's not that difficult. Remember, I said that. That's great, because if you're comfortable with the equivalent fraction, it'll really help when we start to work with comparing fractions, adding and subtracting fractions. So, I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in to my video. You did a fantastic